Hello. So I thought I'll record a video, me doing movementless yoga, so to speak. And this one is particularly oriented between head, neck, shoulders, and upper arms. And in movementless yoga, I have made previous videos without talking much. There've also been videos where there was just the video of me doing movementless yoga and what the camera could capture. For example, it's like movement of my shoulder as I breathe, or my chest, or facial expressions, because there are movements that comes about from the voluntary and involuntary muscles moving in their own time, because our body is a fine set of circadian rhythms. Each tissue has its own rhythm by which it functions, according to the thickness, according to the composition, according to the texture. And when you don't, it's not necessarily get into the process of it, or if you don't be a cog in the wheels function fine. That's not true. There requires a certain awareness of several aspects, several textures, but it's not just textures. There are several elements: earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. And there are textures. And then there is spaces. There could be emotions, there could be thoughts, there could be these are koshas: annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha, shabda kosha. So there are several of these dynamics happening. And you will need to pay attention to, so it gets complex without you getting familiar with one or the other aspects. So when you're going from basics, you learn these different aspects, and then you see how I would be able to guide. So slowly over time, so I think it varies from person to person. Some people are more familiar with some aspects. For example, some people are more energy oriented, some people are more movement oriented, some people are more visually oriented. So varies from person to person. So in this video, I will do a little bit on from a physical experiential thing without going into much detail. Let's see how that goes. But if somebody can kind of understand, can connect with what may be different about this, experiencing this by yourself may require you to be aware of several facets before you can get the flow of it. Yeah. So which is why I call it as Ashtanga Vinyaasayoga. And this is movementless Ashtanga Vinyaasayoga. So I will try and speak a little bit. Okay. If you can follow along, good for you. Okay. Now, I'm bringing my attention to the left and right sides of my shoulder. If you notice, one is a little up. Yeah, a little up. And so it's at this time. So one of the reasons could be how I'm sitting. So for example, I was sitting with my legs, ankles crossed like that. That has a certain effect. So now I'm uncrossing my legs and there is still a little this up. Yeah. And so having a mirror, for example, I'm speaking into the camera. So the camera is acting like a mirror to me. So I can see this. If I was not looking at the mirror or a screen to reflect upon, my right shoulder seems a little more rounder, seems a little rounder, and my left seems a little sharper, like a little pointy. Just the feel of it, texture-wise, so to speak. So that's a little difference that I notice. The screen is saying my left is a little up. Okay. So there's a difference between how internal perception could be, and how external perception could look like. Then I'm not doing anything. I'm not making any adjustments. It's not a problem. It's more like taking stock of how things are. Then I'm bringing my attention to how is my breath. As I'm speaking, I'm noticing the movement of air through my abdomen. How's my abdomen moving? So there's a natural rhythm to it. And speaking has its own effort. It takes some effort to speak. So there are respiratory muscles, diaphragm, for example. I tend to do that with my diaphragm to be able to get some air out. So those movements are happening to support my speaking. So my body is naturally adjusting to accommodate my speech. So being aware of what is happening in the internal space of my body while I'm also watching what's happening in the outside takes a few awareness dynamics. So there are multiple things. Interoception, what's happening inside, and exteroception. Aware that I'm speaking on a camera, aware that I'm in a room, so I can hear the coil just now. So there could be people outside, morning time. So it's takes 6 senses. I'm engaging my hearing senses, subtle sounds in the room and outside the room. So it could be subtle sounds, loud sounds. So sounds, sensation. What can okay. Through my sense of feeling, let's say touch. If you consider a whole body to be an organ for touch or feeling, skin is a whole body organ that enables touch, but also we feel. So let's just say, for the moment, let's say feeling and touch is kind of very finely related. Yeah. But there are finer distinctions. But for the beginning, sort of, to get a sense of what I'm talking about, let's say the whole body is a sense organ for feeling and touching. Yeah. And then there is seeing, what I can see. So I can't see the back of my head, but I can feel it because I have my skin. There's a skin at the back of my head. Yeah. So I can kind of sense what's happening behind me based on how aware is my skin. Skin sense. Hearing, I can smell, nose functioning. I can taste, even though I'm not eating any food. Saliva also has a taste. So there are these sensory functions available. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and knowing. So there are words, for example. There are some things that I know, some things that I don't know. For example, how to stand on my head. It's not something that I'm very particularly looking forward to learn. Yeah. But I do know that when I'm, say, on a bed and I put my head down, there's a certain gravitational effect. Similarly, when I'm sitting here, there's a certain gravitational effect that has a play on my head posture. So there are some things I know, some things I don't know. So I'm paying attention to what is that I know. So my 6 senses. And what I can feel inside. So skin sense, interoception, what sensibilities, perceptibility from my body as a whole body sense organ, inside and outside. So my skin sense, inside and outside. Yeah. And sound sense is also more like surround sound, depending on how good is my ears, like elephant ears. Yeah. Okay. So that's a little bit of the sense organs. And so there's a lot of things. You would see so much, yeah? Because if you're not used to thinking about all of your senses and, yeah, could be a little overwhelming. Which is why when we approach this method of yoga from the basics, you learn it differently. If I'm just going to say it, it's going to say, oh, just this. But yeah, once you get used to what is multiplication, 1 and then 2, and then 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 is not, oh, this and this, but 2. Yeah, because you got it. because these two are not talking to each other. You don't have to, like when you're walking, a child to learn to walk, that takes some effort, that takes some work. How to balance the muscles, how to keep the feet in such a way that you're not losing balance, several details. But now we don't think about, oh, muscle weight, and we just, it's part of how we are. Yeah, we even run and dance like that. Yeah. So basics is like A, B, C, D. Yeah. How does A look like B? And then put together to form words, to form sentences similarly. So it's a different form of yoga. So I'm just giving a sense of sense organs, texture. So this video could seem overwhelming, but I have to put up a video to give a sense of what there is or what is not known about yoga, for example, or some things which are not being spoken about. Now I'm speaking about movementless ashtanga vinyaasayoga. Yeah. So I'm just trying to put out content so there is something visible when I'm talking about movementless yoga, no sound, no visualization, and you can't not even move a muscle. So how do you tell yoga is happening? So a little understanding. So I'm just trying to capture what I can on this video to be able to have some visibility. Yeah, maybe appreciation of, okay. Now, why am I also making this video? Is because Andromeda galaxy is in different stages of merging with Milky Way galaxy. And there are cosmic effects on our elements, earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. And these elements have a play out in our body. For example, the saliva is Jala Tattva, water element. Yeah. Breath, air element. Yeah. Warmth, fire, warmth in our body, fire element. An aspect of it. Body, earth element. Yeah. Space, there's a space that our internal body organs are occupying in. So there's a space element there. And then there is emotions. Yeah. Trigger, any small trigger reaction is ready. Yeah. So we have a spirit. We spiritedly argue. Yeah. So there's a spirit. Earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. Yeah. So you could say that way. Another thing to notice is I'm saying earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. These fingers represent different elements. Water, earth, space, air, fire. Yeah. Spirit is not even mentioned. So there is this aspect and earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. That also is there. How are they playing out? How does the math work? That becomes a little interesting. So there is the Panchanga Veda. Yeah. So Rig Veda, Saman Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda. Atharva Veda. And they also call it Ali. Yeah. Like the one that keeps all of these Vedas together. Otherwise, they are like four aspects, related aspects. But how is the emergence from them? Are we just weaves? Is there something that comes about, grows, or is it just four facets, four aspects, or related four necessaries, four houses, or four paradigms of thinking, four dimensions? Is there a fifth? So there is a fifth, yeah, which is the phases of life, which is also one way to, which is again a story of how we grow up. So there are the weaves, and then there are the story of growth. You could also say Ali, or life as a weave. Yeah. So that way, 5. When we talk in terms of the Parabrahma, there are 14 Brahmas listed. And when we're talking let's just take India as a reference. India took float from Gondwana land to become a subcontinent with Asia. Yeah, butted with Asia and become a subcontinent. And in that process, Himalayas formed. Yeah. And India moved from Gondwana land towards Asia. It began at a movement of 5 centimeters. And over time, two forces came together and the speed increased to up to 14 centimeters per year was a movement at which happened. So there's a 5 and then the 14. Similarly, person has two kind of speeds. Yeah. So there's a light and then the not so light. Yeah. So you'd say slow is slow, or you're so slow, or fast is fast, good. But these are also complementary opposites. There is slow and the fast, and each have their own roles. Just like there is a heavy and the light, light and dark. You different aspects, textures, smooth and firm, like teeth and tissues. So there are several complementary opposites. So you could say a range of awareness things. So I'm like listing out the things that we need to be aware of. I haven't started Langanams. There are 41. Yeah. So that would be pretty interesting. For example, our attachment that we need to have a yoga mat for yoga to happen. Yeah. Or there needs to be asana, pranayama, dhyana in a particular sequence for learning to be a particular way, or what asana means. So we could have attachment to what the meanings are. Yeah. And consequently, yoga may not be happening. And we could be chanting that you could have the benefit of the chant without chanting, may be a certain thing that you need to go beyond. So I call it as langanams. So our idea of langanams would be like fasting. Okay. Langanams may be related with fasting. And my idea of fasting is, fasting, like fast. When you do some things, for example, when you enlighten, you go fast, like lose weight, become light. You go fast. Yeah, that's my idea of fasting. So several of our ideas of what is what may need a little bit of a moment going beyond. Yeah. And you need to get used to this is advanced yoga. Yeah. And I'm talking about 41 Langanams. So for example, textures like this, yeah, different aspects of awareness. So several paradigms of thinking, preconceived notions of what yoga is, of what being human is, or the shape of a human, or what human being is. For example, some people think human beings are sinners. Yeah, 7 cardinal sins. And then karma, where karma means, karma. Yeah, instead of it being actions you take per time, rate of actions per time. For example, cyclical processes, breathing that's happening. Bones have a breathing pattern that's different from muscles. That's also karma. Karma is per time, in time. So our thought lines, the paradigms of thinking, may take a little while getting used to. So that's why I call it MICE, Meristem Intelligences. Yeah, because all of these different paradigms of thinking need to be put together under certain ways. That's why we have names. So when I say Bitta, it's this person. I'm not talking about some other person. So that's why we have MICE, to be able to put all of my way of this language. Fasting, for example. Now, when I decode English, that's going to sound very interesting. Yeah, so I have a few podcasts. You could check out Word Aikido on Spotify. WORDAIKIDO. Yeah, there's some more words beside, but Word Aikido would lead you to that. So a little bit introducing. So, okay, so we have paradigms of thinking to go beyond. So we have life as has been lived. And when something new comes, for example, when the internet came, we have HTML, and now people are talking about C++, Java, and those kinds of codings and ways of thinking about language, which is different from how we have been looking at alphabets, symbols, numbers differently. We look at the language differently. Similarly, now here, I'm speaking about original humane intelligence, facilitation at that. Yeah. So different language, different ways of thinking. So different paradigms of thinking that we haven't had reason to think about earlier. So it's new technology. It's lovely technology. Yeah, love-based. And love has been quite a killer. Yeah. Lala Majnu and several romantic stories will talk about how love has also been quite a killer. And um, now what role does love play as a technology? Like internet came at some point in time. War was also a technology to go beyond certain challenges, which was there then. Kala Dharma. At that time, it was necessary, relevant, and now we have certain skill sets from there, and then what we don't have to do. Yeah. For example, now we have surgery using instruments, but how is it possible to go beyond health challenges which are without having to go through surgery, where you can protection of health is better than prevention of diseases, is better than cure. How is that possible? So how can we protect our health without having to pop a pill or do elaborate asanas and poses, even contortion, without having to do that, without even having to move a muscle? Yeah. How to maintain health? While, for example, there's Andromeda galaxy in different stages merging with Milky Way galaxy. So air element, earth, water, fire, spirit space of earth would be experiencing some pressure, some like kids like grow up, yeah. So there could be some tension. We need more produce, yeah. Uh, earth according to capacity, right? While the child needs to maintain composition and not, um, yeah, succumb and not be so much affected by pressure that performance is getting affected. Yeah. So how do you maintain your composition while you're doing what you're doing? Others have no idea what you're doing, and what you're doing matters in why all of this pressure is there, because it helps all the developments that's happening to sustainably happen. It's like the ball bearing in say a bicycle. Chain runs by balls. Yeah. That chain needs to be there. You'd love to go cycling fast, fast, fast. That chain comes out, and then you're having a little moment. Yeah. So movementless yoga is like that. It's like a ball bearing. Shri Chakra, the center, there's a dot bindu. So I'm like this bindu right now. Yeah. Holding dimensions together and by movementless yoga. So since there are so many facets to it, it's an n-dimensional yoga, one single multifaceted practice that moves to stages of development, stages of where a person moves to stages of development and becoming a humane being, and in the process goes to stages of advancement. So you learn, for example, texture, learn different facets. Why should you learn all this? Otherwise, you can list up your full list of medicines, your health maintenance practices, gym fees, your different equipments that you need to maintain health. For example, otherwise you need to maintain status. Friends gathering around, you need to look good enough. So that's like so much of a bill on for appearance. Yeah, shoes, gear, memberships, yeah, gym, yeah, food you need to eat to maintain your protein, for example, yeah, foods, um, medical bills, yeah, that comes to quite a bit. And what you can do in your life from fasting versus going at 5 centimeter pace when you can go at 14 centimeter. Yeah, makes a difference in how much of time, how efficient you can maintain, what you can do with time. So in 2 years of the pandemic, I arrived at mythological quality Adi Yoga. Yeah, without even moving a muscle. And that to Parvati Yoga. Vishachikitsa, Samudra Manthan, Vishachikitsa. 2 years of the pandemic. Is that possible? Is it because of the internet? But then in it's like Kala Dharma. Given that these resources are available, when you do the right things, the resources come to you. It may be right in front of you, but recognizing what is there in front of you and what to do with what's there in front of you requires discernment. And the door could be there, but the key needs to be there now. Or the key could be there, the door needs to be there. And these two come together only open. Yeah. So movementless yoga has you have the key and the door keeps coming, you keep walking and the path keeps opening, keep showing up. So it is effortless in that sense. Otherwise, you have lots of circus, distraction, and then get you back online. And so this is just riding on the highway, or driving on the highway, walking on the highway. Yeah, sometimes the moving itself is walking is the fastest. Yeah, because when your body is doing a lot of circadian rhythms, it's like you have many wheels. Yeah, and they're doing it's like being a multi speciality unit. Yeah, and so you could be having many departments in your life. So you could be juggling, or all of them is getting worked with, and you're just minding your own business. You may not be so great with math, but then this math is different from your calculator math and the idea of mathematics. Somebody actually said our idea of physics is because of the idea of mathematics we have. And if something better comes, then our idea of physics and math and how we're looking at things changes. So that difference is what I'm bringing forth here. Yeah. This is where physics is would be seen as like X, like economics or cosmetics, not cosmic. Yeah, but something like it. Life or something like it. Like, yeah. To life. Otherwise, you have artificial intelligence and don't have original humane intelligence and facilitation. Original humane intelligence facilitation. Otherwise, you're living, but enlivening is not happening. You're alive, but others are, we have structures, but life is not enlivening. So otherwise, it's like springtime. Yeah, like water is there and yeah, garden and things are all working, and it's just a working house. It's a working life. Otherwise, you have life for something else missing. You have the house, you have the fire, but that is not sufficient for the house to be working. This is like it's all just working. It's one unit. It's an industry, like Earth. Earth is a beautiful industry. Yeah, industrious. Yeah, resourceful at that. So pressure would be there from the universe, multiverse, to have more Earth-like creatures. Yeah. So pressure would be there, work pressure, demand, and all. It's like, what are you doing? It seems nice. So we humans have the capacity of managing the pressure. While for example, can make this technology, Earth technology, yoga, like movementless yoga. If Earth was dancing and striking poses, it would be quite interesting. So what in the world is Earth doing? Yeah, or what in the universe Earth is doing? Multiverse. Yeah. So we have different ideas about that stuff. So while we are all in the same ball, while you see the dark night sky, you see dots. How do you know they're not watching? You know what developments new? Yeah, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, different shape sizes. They're like Earth, Earth. Yeah, go forward, do forward. Yeah, we're also there. You know, so like family members. Yeah, go forward, go forward. You win, we all win. Yeah, like that. So pressure would be there. Family pressure is there. Whole village pressure, everything. Yeah. So how to then Not to succumb to pressure and then do something, anything that won't make Earth. That'll make some other planet. Yeah. So how to maintain? Shrishti optimization. That's what movementless yoga, healthy and natural breathing makes available. Yeah. Okay. We can get back to a little bit of aspects. We just got to know a little bit of the range of stuff. Now, I'll just leave you with a little thing that you can take away with. So if somebody else, you're going to be watching this video again, which chances are you would, if this seems interesting enough, there's enough content. It's like watching a movie, many layer movie, and then or a classic novel. Yeah. Every time you read that novel, you are not the same person. So when you read the same novel the second time, you'll read another layer of the story. Yeah. So this video may be something like that. Yeah, more like point of reference. So because you could be paying attention to all seeing. Yeah. And then you'll watch this video. And then maybe you'll work on listening. And then you'll watch this video. You'll hear something else. You'll see something else. A little multiplication, maybe. Yeah. So, all right. Nevertheless, I'll leave you with this exercise, so to speak. Bring your attention to the left and right sides of your ears. So there's a tension between the left and right sides of your body, and consequently, your head has a left and right side. Like you have the nose here, left and right sides. So your whole skull, the occipital suture, parietal suture, frontal suture, yeah, your skull is like two halves put together like that. Yeah, like namaste. So there's a whole body namaste happening. Two aspects coming together. Like there's a breastbone, the sternum, the rib cage, two aspects coming together, saying hello to each other. There's a spine. There's a left and right sides. Hip bones, two bones coming together. So you have a whole body namaste happening. Like we do like this namaste. Yeah. Similarly, pay attention to your head. Okay. And if you can notice the tension of your skull bone, if you can notice the texture of your skull bone versus your cheek. Yeah, try puffing out. You'll notice the softness of your cheek versus the texture of your skull bone. You would still be, if you can notice this texture, you would still be in a good place. So that's the exercise I will leave you with. You should get familiar with something, no? Here, head, we are talking about the dot on the top of this whole structure. Just being aware of this difference in texture over time will help you discern any difference between left and right sides. The bone, the skull bone difference between left and right sides. Like how I said, shoulder, left and right sides, from inside it would feel different, from outside it may seem different. When you can feel the texture of your skull bones versus the tissue, you will notice when before you could get a migraine, you're likely to notice any tension in your skin or your muscles. Before, you could say aura, but much before then, you're likely to notice when tension is building up. And when it gets so much built up is probably when you could get a migraine. Yeah? Or a neck tension. So much that you need to really rest. Yeah? And take off from work. And that's like work delay, and time is money. Yeah? So you want that kind of delay, but you could save all of those time by being aware of the texture of your muscles. Okay? So what I said is not a small exercise. If you can, every now and then, just pay attention to, okay, teeth is bone, hard. Teeth is bone. Similarly, skull, bone, hard. And soft. Over time, you'll become aware of different, I will keep talking about different aspects, yeah? So, or you could contact me and I'll be able to guide you through there are simple ways by which you can get familiar with these different For example, I say, yeah, versus just there, it may not be as easy to get in touch with the softness. So I'll be able to guide you some small tips. So it becomes easy for you to be aware of these different textures. It'll save you a lot of money, time, effort, and anxiety, tension, and you would actually be helping Earth maintain the whole system. Like we are all children of Earth. So there is work pressure. Other planets requiring more Earth-like life. Yeah, Earth, wanting more Earth, not Earth-like. Otherwise, we have life or something like it, and we'll have continue to have artificial intelligence. It's a good. Artificial intelligence is also working towards artificial general intelligence, which means improvement. So you don't want Earth-like, Earth. Yeah. What does that take is, I'm kind of coding for Earth. Yeah. So contact me and we'll all get better. And we will see there are people planning to fly off to Mars. It will be less expensive when we have Earth atmosphere. Yeah, there. So that doesn't happen. It's not like targeted. So now Mars, it's going to look like Earth. Jupiter is going to look like. That's not how it works. They all work together. So we are all on the same planet. It's like since the Big Bang, it's like prototype, Earth prototype. Like human being, we make a project, one prototype, and then from there, all functioning fine. We would like it to be of a particular kind, a quality. And I'm talking about enlivening life in the multiverse. We've had a lot of animals and plants and many other faculties, but they were probably not talking about enlivening life in the multiverse. Yeah, similarly like Earth. So it's taken a lot of time for the prototype to create my kind of creature. Yeah. So this is for-profit enterprise. Yeah. Captain Kirk in the Star Trek series talks about space, the final frontier, and in search of new civilization. Yeah. To go where no man has gone before. I'm a woman. Yeah. And I'm talking about, I've been saying since some time that I'm the space in which all that there is exists. Yeah. So I've like been there, done that, like really, really witchy. Yeah. Like there's also the saying that when Neil Armstrong went to the moon, he found a Malayali there, walk up to him and offer him chaya. Yeah. So I'm a Malayali and I'm a woman. Yeah. And I'm talking about people are wanting to fly out, they're searching about space and space research. I'm saying I'm the space in which all that there is exists. Yeah. So do contact me anytime soon, and we will save a lot of money, effort, and energy. And oh my goodness. So civilization getting better, Star Trek series, and life as has been known thus far. It's a new paradigm. It's all new beginnings. It's a new dawn. DAWN and what it means to be human, humane, alive, in love, married to life, and beautiful. Yeah. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Lie, jhoot bolna, like false. What you see is not necessarily what's the truth. But how then do you discern if that's true? That what you see may be a consequence of what you have seen before, and consequently you're not able to see what's there right in front of your eyes. And so what you see could be a lie because of what you have seen before or what you haven't seen. So let's update our intelligence system, like updating the software and hardware, so that we can then see things from fresh new eyes. Yeah, then we will see beauty and then full, like beautiful. Yeah. And beautiful in my eyes has a very different growth factor. Yeah. For example, beautiful. B would be I. E would be you, I and you. A would be my, I, you, my. A you. You is like cup. Yeah. Glass. You pour water in a glass. You. There's like, oh, keep together, not we, but you. It's a little round. Yeah. container kind. Yeah. T would be, how do you say, they say dot the I's and dash the T's. So that's like supporting T, anchoring kind of a T, or under the aegis of T. Yeah. P-U-T, P-A-U-T-I. I is stand-upitude, what it takes to stand up. Because you got to stand up and eyes facing forward to be able to see what there is to see. Yeah. Otherwise, there's a wall and you can't see above. You don't really see it. Yeah. So you got to be able to see at the right angle. Yeah. T-I. F would be yours. Yeah. So there's mine and yours and theirs, and you're not able to see yours. You only see me, and my stuff, and not able to see yours. And then again, you. And then L is the standing up of a human being. L is also leadership. Like small L, standing up as a human being. Capital L is leadership. Yeah. So beautiful has a different meaning in my eyes. So it's a whole set of just got rich. Yeah. It's like coffee, and then you have some cream, then you have some chocolate. Yeah. And then you add some cayenne pepper later with. Yeah. And some details like that. It just makes it interesting. It makes it a whole meal. Yeah. But it's also a drink. It's could be quite filling. Yeah. So you would need to have a buffet, small little bites, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some people, you spend money. Yeah. You like your work to get done like quick. It's just quality time. So quality things comes, it comes like a premium stuff. So this is premium yoga. Yeah, advanced and premium yoga. Premium health, wealth, and wisdom at affordable price. So contact me before the price goes up. Yeah. Affordable range. Because if it's going to be way over the tops, it's going to be like there, stars in the sky. Yeah. So not that way. So make sure it's affordable. Yeah. Otherwise, your bills are running up, and that could get quite expensive. Don't make it that expensive. Yeah, contact me now and life gets more affordable. You can use the money to buy other things and invest in many other things. So have that great life that you can have, beautiful life. Yeah. Thank you so much for kind interest, attention. Contact me soon. That's where the real stuff is. Yeah. Good day.